Hello and welcome to this video where I talk you through the approach to question 2 of English Language Paper 1 on the exam board AQA. So, very important questions worth 8 marks, and I know that may not seem like a lot, but it can make a very big difference to your final overall grade. So this is the question where you get a short piece of text. The question's pretty much always the same in terms of the way it begins. How does the writer use language here to describe something? In this case, from a previous paper, Ugwu's impression of the city. It gives you 3 bullet points. You could include the writer's choice of words and phrases, language features and techniques, sentence forms. Look, if there's something that jumps out to you for each of these, fantastic, but you can pick up 8 marks without having mentioned all of these. Note the this word here, you could include, okay? Now, the way we answer this question and start is firstly we highlight the focus of the question. So in this case, for this question, it's Ugwu's impression of the city. This supports you to select the correct evidence. Where students tend to go wrong in this question is that they don't write about the thing that the question is focusing on, okay? And that is the issue. Then we scan the text and highlight information that relates directly to the focus of the question. So if we just look at this extract here, Ugwu did not believe that anybody, not even his master, was going to live with 8 meat every day. Again, anything to do with the city, not so far. He did not disagree with his auntie, though, because he was too choked with expectation, too busy imagining his new life away from the village. Now, we could start to argue that this is where the impressions of the city start to emerge, because he's got these pre-existing hopes and pre-existing ideas that will affect his eventual impression, right? They'd been walking for a while now since they got off the lorry at the motor park, and the afternoon sun burned the hot of his back, but he did not mind. He was prepared to walk hours more even in hotter sun. He had never seen anything like the streets that appeared after they went past the university gates, streets so smooth and tarred that he itched to lay his cheek down on them. He would never have been able to describe to his sister Anulika how the bungalows here were painted the colour of the sky and sat side by side like polite, well-dressed men. How the hedges separating them were trimmed so flat on top they looked like tables wrapped with leaves. Right, then I start to think about how I'm going to start my answer. Now, I need an impression. So based on what I've just read there, I jot down a few words. He's clearly in awe. He's clearly impressed. You could even argue he's a little bit surprised. Okay, that is his impression, Ugwu, right? That is his impression of the city. This becomes the kind of focus of your answer. Then I just spend a few moments making some notes of the things I'll write about. So obviously in this case, he's got these pre-existing ideas. And this can be a combination of thoughts and analysis. Never seen anything like. So that sense of shock, that sense of amazement. Streets so smooth, that use of alliteration. Once again, never been able to describe to his sister Annalika. The colour of the sky, that colour imagery. 2 uses of interesting similes here. And those become my methods that I'll talk about, right? But everything links back to these things, constantly referring back to the fact that he's in awe, he's impressed, he's surprised. I'd start my answer using the words of the question. So I'd say something like, Ugwu is clearly in awe of the city in this extract, and the writer conveys this sense of surprise through interesting language choices. Okay? And that allows me to move then into my analysis. You go into detail writing about the evidence in the extract in chronological order, so we just go through picking these bits out writing about them, analysing, thinking about the effect on the reader, thinking about the emotion, thinking, of course, about the character. Use the annotations that you made in step 1 and step 2 to support you, and obviously zoom into those specific word choices. Enjoy.